Welcome back, everybody, to the Corporate Esport Association Valorant tournament here in the fall of 2020. My name is Paulsible. Alongside me is Moxi, and Moxi, playoffs are creeping ever closer. The matches are heating up so fire. And today, we're expecting a pretty banger matches. Both these teams still sitting in the qualification section, still have a lot to play for if they even want to make playoffs.
We have, of course, seen one of the teams that we're going to get to see today. Before Paul, actually, that was a Red Hat Uplink that we saw a little bit of a very sort of information-heavy composition coming out, Cypher and Sova, with a little bit of flashes for that utility to get yourself safely in. Garmin Energy, I believe we haven't actually got to see on stream, so very much looking forward to seeing how those two interact, especially because we already know which map we are going to be headed off to, and it is that one where you need to have a lot of information. It's going to be Haven, where you play with 3 points instead of 2.
Yeah, and it is worth noting that they were Red Hat Uplink, that is, we're running Sova even on Split. Sova's probably worst map, so I would be surprised if they didn't roll out here with that. It is worth noting that these teams have a slightly different record, both pretty competitive, but Red Hat Uplink currently sitting at 3-3, whereas Garmin Valorant are 4-2. So Garmin, I think we can give them a little bit of the edge. You know, Moxie, last week we had very fun team names. This week they're a little bit more like straightforward, so I'm hoping we get some creative strats to make up for it.
Well, talking of creative strats, we're going to have the Killjoy coming out from Garmin Energy. It is going to be on the attack first of all, though. So I look forward to that, where everyone just dumps their utility on point C.
Garmin are going to be starting on that attack. Creeping their way on forward up toward B for the pistol round. This is very ambitious, considering how easily this site can be retaken. A flash just going to keep Garmin at bay for now. Nice Lear is going to keep them perfectly safely right now. But it seems like they're just going to have to back on out as they are going to lose 1-4-1. Ooh, one creeping into a garage all alone. Pure Penguins gonna get shut down there. Caminator not letting anything go through there, and this Cam is undoubtedly going to spot Garmin as they go for this C take. Mystical Emo is going to be able to get onto the site. Has to be a little bit careful, though. Already, the defenders postured up, ready to push onto the site. But the spike will be able to be planted here. And Block A throwing that recon dart into garage, just keeping the defenders at bay. Here comes an Owl Drone. So Block A is going to have to back on up here. Owl Drone will spot the one toward the back of the site, and information given as shots were fired from long. Block A still going to be able to make it happen, though. Hella Energy punishing. Only one remaining. Just the Killjoy all alone. No utility. Has to peek. And Mystical Emu will get shut down. Caminator, a beautiful job in that round. And a first round on the board for Red Hat Uplink. Unfortunately, it does seem like we have some technical issues. No worries, guys. The game's gonna keep going for all y'all. Just Moxie is having some problems getting the feed, getting the game herself. So we're gonna keep this on a rolling regardless. And as expected, going into this second round, some better buys for the defense. They're not investing too heavily into it. Tsunakato not even picking himself up any armor for this round. So a very winnable round, certainly, for the likes of Garmin Valorant. They're even going to spot Tsunakato all alone on that B site. He's going to rotate to the other side of it. And Garmin, rather, they're not going to push up too aggressively. Seems like they're just buying their time, seeing if anyone will push into them. And Tsunakato does go for a bit of a swing, but gets the better end of Garmin in that trade. Couple players watching toward B, seeing if he'll re-peek this angle, but I don't think Tsunakato is going to get that aggressive. He's not going to get that greedy, at least for now. Some players moving up towards A here. The Rainer pushing up through sewers, but not a hard commitment. And right now, Garmin, they've just danced around the middle of the map for a while. They're seeming to struggle where they want to actually move on through. Mystical Emu, he does spot one. Down A long. Masalato is just going to peel on out of there, though. Has the fault line at the ready. If this push comes A, which is seeming like it will, Smoke is going to give this away. Lear's at the ready for Frave here. The second he thinks that anybody is on site, it's the quick, slow creep, and already Mystical Emu's down. Lear keeping Horizon X at bay, and Frave is easily going to shut that one down. All alone is the Phoenix, and Triptoid is going to be taken down. Flawless for the defenders in round 2. Red Hat Uplink off to a great start here. And now it's just going to be that full buy for the attacking team. Garmin, this is their chance to swing it, but there have been some investments made by the defense. 3 Vandals picked up by Red Hat Uplink, so they're not giving this round away for free. Garmin definitely need to be careful about how they approach this. It is a Spectre down A long versus presumably several Vandals, so if Masalato is not careful about how he peeks this, he will be at a severe disadvantage. Frave's here to back him up. Flash and Lear both committed. Excellent pick onto Triptoid there. And the defenders should just be happy with that one, but they're going to swing for more. The Sova spotted, just barely gets around the corner, but so much pressure, so many flashes already having to be committed from the defenders here. Horizon X did spot the breach going around, and that recon chart is going to give some good information, but it's not able to be punished. Already 3 gone for Garmin. They're just down to their Rainer and their Sova as the defenders all hightail it toward the A site. The spike will get picked back up. That was actually seen, so they should know that someone is lurking here in sewers. Oh, but they weren't ready for it. Pure Penguins with a pure frag onto Tunicado. Now ready for anyone to come up from behind. Ooh, the timing doesn't quite catch Caminator. And there's no Cypher. The Killjoy turret had already been dispatched. Caminator easily picks up a Phantom and takes a kill before he even got that one. Pure Penguin's trying to grab one on the site. Just 6 bullets to his name. He'll at least be able to pick that one up. Get the Devour. Get that overheal. Fake the defuse. Oh, he doesn't know it, but he probably should have just planted Pure Penguins. He's doing well, though. Only one more, and he's just going to hightail it. He knows that Caminator was coming up from behind. He's just going to plant on that B site. Doesn't want to worry about that Omen at all.
Still got the Lyra as well. Caminator now with the Vandal is going to have to commit onto this. Dark cover comes out first to try and get himself safely through that. Well, this guy's the teleporter. It's just going to be the standoff. Penguins is waiting with the teleporter! Caminator just runs straight into where that Rainer is hiding out. And oh my goodness, it's a Halloween stream for sure, folks, because that Omen just got the biggest scare of his life.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine Caminator thought that Pure Penguins was playing either outside of B, like in grass toward window, or maybe backside of B by Gong, but regardless, not going to quite work out. And because they bought into that, because Red Hat bought those 3 Vandals, they're now looking a little bit broke coming into this round. It's not a great buy either for the likes of Garmin, so certainly a winnable thrifty, well, quote-unquote thrifty here for the defense, but not going to be easy. Definitely an uphill battle.
Looks like Garmin Energy want to push onto the C site. You will have the information coming out to Red Hat Uplink, though, with that Cypher utility, the camera, and as well as that spotting all of those dark covers laid throughout C long. Actually been a beautiful fake out from Pure Penguins. He's going to start making a move towards that A side and giving a lot of information away. They now know that Frave is out of the picture, that the Rainer, that the aggressor is gone. So the defense doesn't have quite as easy as initiation tool. They will have a Rolling Thunder. It's something that Garmin NG have got to remember. The second that they go for that defuse, that ultimate will be coming out.
Just a quick plant onto the B site. It seems early Rolling Thunder coming from A-Link, disrupting the plant entirely, and the spike now sits on the floor. Fault line at the ready, too. They're pretty confident where that last player is, and Pure Penguins is going to be subdued. Easy guns picked up here, and just Triptoid all alone. He takes the knife out at the worst possible time. Unfortunate for him. Vandals picked up by all 3 remaining members, I do believe. And a great round to swing it back for Red Hat Uplink.
Great ultimate as well, Rolling Thunder coming out from Masalato. So many times we get to see people like Sovas and Breaches use their ultimates to completely mess around with that spike going down into the ground. You get the sign queue, you have such a good idea of where all of Garmin Energy are going to be. And even though you're coming in with a broken bite, even though you don't have quite the arsenal to stand up to them when it comes to that normal fight, because they're all dazed, they get taken out very quickly afterwards. Caminator's going to try and keep a hold of Garage. You don't want to lose control of that, because if you let the attackers come in when they've got a killjoy, they can set up that tic-tac-toe crossfire with the turret, with the nanoswarm, to make sure that you just don't get anywhere near that point again.
It is just an eco, but regardless, Hunter's Fury going to be invested. Early pick, too, onto Hella Energy. The concuss there is going to stop Mystical Emu's momentum, but through Garage, momentum still firing strong. Pure Penguins picking up one. Mesalito and the rest of Red Hat just forced to back up. I don't believe that was the wall Mesalito was trying to flash. Just going to have to hold this passive angle. Honestly, it would probably be a smart idea for Red Hat to go for the save here. They're at least going to draw out some utility by throwing out things like the fault line, like the flashes. Aftershock committed. I think they're going for this, and that might be ill-advised. Pure Penguins at the ready, and a flank from Triptoid shuts it down. Thrifty on the board for Garmin.
Red Hat Uplink knew that they really wanted to just try and cripple Garmin Energy's economy, because when these rounds are so close, if you can get a single point or even a single weapon away from your opponent, you get such a big advantage in that next fight. However, you've now put yourself at that place yourself. You're going to be coming in with a very partial buy, Brave. You're going to be coming in, well, took a little bit longer, but we'll be coming in with a rifle alongside the rest of the team. However, this is a very expensive round for Red Hat Uplink. That economy is not looking too clean, and if they lose this one, or even if they win it, but they lose the majority of their members, they are going to face such a challenge when Garmin Energy decide to properly come in with these ultimates.
And Garmin's still plenty to work with despite their investment into that last round. Empress and From the Shadows, great combination, as the From the Shadows can get so much information for Pure Penguins to just roll onto the site with improved fire and those potential invisible dismisses and just roll over anyone in his path. Lear at the ready from the back of sight. Frave, oh, he peeks at the right time, but can't quite put Pure Penguins down. Good Lear, good swing from Frave, and the attackers, rather, are going to be dissuaded from their A push. Triptoid's going to stick around for just a second, see if he can spot anybody swinging a little too wide or creeping up a long. But meanwhile, the rest of his team has hightailed it to sea.
He's doing such a good job as well, because the Phoenix stayed there. He got intentionally spotted out by the Cypher camera to make sure that Garmin Energy knew there was still a presence, and as such, their rotation all the way back to C long, it's too late. Garmin Energy are already there.
Pure Penguins, man, is just with pure power right now. Frave not going to have the same kind of luck all alone against the entirety of Garmin. Just going to go for the save. And Garmin, you know, it's been tumultuous for them thus far, but they're putting rounds on the board, and when they get these wins, Moxie, it's looking pretty decisive.
They seem to be playing the mental game as well, and in Haven, that mental game is so strong. There are 3 points, and the defense can be easily spread thin across any of them. Garmin Energy are just going to go on a little bit of arena hunt right now, making a lot of noise, so they're just trying to kite her all the way into the rest of the team who are waiting on that A side. And unfortunately for Brave, there's just nowhere to hide. You are out of here.
Pure Penguin's just deciding if he wanted to get the visual upgrade there, but honestly, his aim, his fragging power does not need to be upgraded, Moxie. Look at the guys, 10-3 already, only 6 rounds into it. That's nearly 2 kills a round average. You know, that's not bad on any character, but on Reyna, it's what you need to make it work. Such a, I don't want to say a selfish agent, but definitely one that ramps up depending on the skill of the player.
Depending on whether you've got that Empress up as well. I'm waiting for
True.
Pure Penguins to pop that one and go to absolute town, coming in with a Vandal.
Oof.
Just gonna spam it right through mid doors, and already picking up Caminator very early on. The defense coming in on that Broken Bite, not really able to do much of anything right now. They want to try and get aggressive and close up the distance, but Garmin Energy are just not letting you anywhere near.
And I mean, Lockdown's going to be committed, it seems, just to ensure that this site is going to go over to Garmin without any hiccups. They want to force the sheriffs away and just easily move into those post-plant positions. I mean, it's going to be such a rough retake here for the defending team, for Red Hat, and already they lost half of their remaining players. Now it's just Frave and Mesalito, not even able to be in the same position here. I don't believe there are any weapons for them to pick up either, because guess what? Nobody on Garmin has dropped one. Smoke is just going to be committed to Garage, but it doesn't even seem like you're really going to go for this. Just a stinger in hand for Frave. He's going to creep on back. Will be able to pick up that one on a Tripjoid, as Tripjoid wasn't exactly sure where the Reyna was going to be coming from. So at least Frave will get out with the gun. But the lead is taken by Garmin, and oh no, Pure Penguins. He knows exactly where this Reyna is going to be playing. He catches him in the reload and puts him down. No gun for you.
That felt just a little bit personal, right? They managed to take the entire point with everybody still alive, and then the Phoenix goes down. The Penguins was just avenging Triptoid. As we saw the ultimates come out very decisive from Garmin Energy when they want to hit that C site. They hit that C site. They make sure that copy is clear, that they can put down that lockdown. They keep a presence towards their entrance to C long as well, so Red Hat Uplink can't try and loop around and take out lockdown before it comes into fruition. This is a very aggressive team. When they want to hit a point, they want to hit a point, and they're once again going to go for C long. They'll have to run it back if they want to use that. Get information. Dark cover already down. Splookcase is going to put a lot of pot shots in at the wall, trying to figure out where that Cypher camera is.
I mean, he almost figured out where the Cypher himself was through the smoke. It was just a pixel or two off the noggin of that player. Pure Penguins is going to get spotted. There's the run it back being committed up C long. Once again, Garmin, they like these C takes. They're just going to commit for it because they haven't really met much resistance on this side. Tripjoid, he's even going to get a fadeaway kill there onto Hella Energy. The top fragger has been lost, so maybe this is some place where Red Hat can finally look to do some damage. They are going to lose sight, but they're going to pick up that kill. It's going to be a 3 versus 3 on this retake. Hunter's Fury at the ready. Now, Mesalito maybe a little bit early there. There's the classic Sofa Dart into the Hunter's Fury. Last tag, not there, though. Cypher will have to be put down by Frave, and it's going to cost him his life. 1 versus 1. Tsunakado's position is known, and he has no idea where Tripjoid is. Has a feeling he might be logs. Oh, he was right, but he looked away at the wrong moment. The second he swung, and Tripjoid will take the win.
Tripjoid didn't even use the flash either. He did not want to give his position away. The second he uses that flash, if it doesn't hit or if the Sofa is able to look away in time, your location has been revealed and you have to win the fight. But because he's able to hold his cool, hold his metal, he's able to finish off that kill. And now we're going to start to see that point disparity coming into play. Yes, the defense are able to come in with pretty decent weaponry, but their economy is on the absolute brink, and we've even got Hella Energy coming in on that light armor, and it's the Cypher, it's not the Reyna, so you don't have that sustain. Caminator knows they have to get an early pick, so he's going to very aggressively try to hold on to Garage, hope that the dark cover makes Garmin Energy see that the Omen Energy and Utility has already been used up, but Garmin Energy, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep pushing C.
Great fault line, though, this time around. Mesalito here, a good adjustment. Coming in from Red Hat Uplink, the Omen rather has teleported into the back, but easily read by Tunikado. And a great flash, 2 okay, 1 easily dispatched as Blockade just barely gets away from that one. Ooh, does get tagged by that shock dart and aftershock. Oh, he's done. I mean, even if he got out of that one, he was never going to get out of C-Long with his life intact. Great, dominant round from Red Hat Uplink, and Mystical Emo isn't anywhere near the spike. Frave just sitting on it like it is an egg, but just pushes forward at the exact right time. I believe Mystical Emo actually saw Frave on this as well, but just wanted to be a little bit careful with it. Frave not looking the right way, doesn't know how anyone could have even gotten behind him, and Mystical Emo is going to be able to actually get the spike down this time around.
You might not be able to win the round, but you can still get the economy for planting that spike. And you can really put Red Hat Uplink in quite a tough position. They wanted to come into this round with a dominant win. They didn't want to lose members. They didn't want to have to invest guns again. The Mystical Emu, he's done the wraparound. He's not holding on the A site. He's all the way back on A long.
Mystical does know where he is, though. Fault line easily going to connect, and Mystical Emu will be put down. Go pick yourself up a gun, Cypher. I know the Bucky is fun. Go pick. Mystical Emu had a gun. Yeah, he figured it out. He figured it out. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. Gun picked up. Oh, it's over there. Okay, gun picked up at the very last second there. And with hella energy, grabbing a gun, economy restabilized for the defense.
But it's still not quite in that same position that Garmin Energy are in.
True.
Interestingly enough, Paul, we haven't actually seen an operator come out from either of these teams. And that could very well be down to the fact that no one's running the jet, so you don't have that additional mobility to make you feel a lot more comfortable with that weapon. But we do sometimes see Rainers pick that one up and try and hold dominance on C Long. But Garmin Energy seem to want to take things as quickly as possible, as close as possible. And once again, I'm going to be going for that very dominant approach from Celon.
Tag there onto the Cypher. Hunter's Fury comes out in response. Second tap. Not there, though. Only one connection for Blockade, and that doesn't get you a kill. Although a beautiful frag through a wall will. It is 1-for-1 across the map there, as Triptoid is going to get caught. And Pure Penguins all alone, not swung with support there. And therefore, no C site control gain. Mesalito easily picking up one, and these individual peaks not working out at all for Garmin right now. They will get slaughtered across the map.
They're very strong when they work together as a team, but the second that they really try and split up and swarm over all of the angles and see when they try and bite off a little bit too much, that's when we start to see the cracks come through in this team composition, because they don't have that information. They've only got what the Sova sees and what the rest of their own eye sees. They don't have that cipher camera, they don't have that massive information network. And it's going to be extremely punishing in these rounds where they try and split themselves off and try and grab all of the map control, but it's also going to be extremely punishing when they swap over to the defense. So the best thing that Red Hat Uplink can do right now is ensure that the attackers just don't get enough rounds to make them feel comfortable when the rounds swap.
Oh, Frave. Feeling pretty comfortable with this A long peak. Only has one more leer, though. Needs to get value or get away. One or the other, and neither is the case for Frave. A site control not quite given up, as there are still some defenders to contest. Run it back early use. Caminator, he can't peek this one without the assistance of a smoke. He's going to smoke A long. Keep the attackers at bay. Pure Penguins in a pretty powerful spot, but will get shut down regardless. There's the paranoia, but it's just a disengaged paranoia, a fadeaway one for Garmin. They're instead going to start lurking their way towards that C site, but there is a camera and a couple trap wires waiting to meet them if they commit.
Oh, this is smart. Garmin Energy made it look as if they were about to wrap around, and they still had the Phoenix on A long giving information on whether Red Hat Uplink were rotating. The defense has sensed that something's wrong, that the spike has not been planted in either B or C, so they're wrapping their way back to A, but the lockdown's already there.
30 seconds left.
Lockdown kind of out in the open. You can actually destroy it through that box if you can get out and around. The problem is getting out and around and then shooting, and that's a very dangerous angle, so nobody's even going to try to go for that one. Aftershock does clear out. The player sitting in hell. Mesalito, I'm not sure he was even intending to get that kill. I certainly didn't spot the Sova there. Rolling Thunder at the ready. Hunter's Fury to pair with it. But now it's all Mesalito, and he doesn't catch the player over in long. Oh, the reload for Mystical Emu, though, down to just 30 HP. Such low health here. Heal has to be committed for Triptoid. Not enough time for Mesalito, though. He will have to disengage, just try and save his gun and catch Triptoid on the way out. At least he'll get that pick. But a lead taken once again by Garmin. It is neck and neck here.
So much was invested, though, from both of those teams in terms of ults. Garmin Energy gave absolutely everything that they had available to them in Red Hat Uplink. The exact same as it came online, we saw it get thrown in. That Rolling Thunder was beautiful. If you'd had a couple more members, a little bit more utility left over, or better yet, been in position, hadn't rotated, and played yourself out of that defensive hold, then you would have easily been able to walk away with that round. And this is something that we see Garmin Energy doing a lot of the time, trying to really mess with Red Hat Uplink's minds. However, they can't go for that same aggression that we've seen them now, because if they do, if they group up and try and take control of C Long, they're either going to get fault lined or completely wrapped by Hunter's Fury.
I like just the chorus of guns there down C long after that fault line comes out because they're expecting Mesalito to go for a greedy peek. They won't be right about that one. Mesalito instead just playing with their minds a little bit. Odd swarm grenade from Mystical Emu there, just trying to keep anyone from pushing out of garage there for the rest of his team. And now he's going to go for that A side lurk very quickly. He is sprinting into sewers. He's going to be very glad that nobody had crept up A long. Now Mystical Emu coming on back. The Sova gets spotted. Yeah. Shoot the turret. You're going to give away your position there. Tsunikado finding that out the hard way. Oh, Caminator, this is such a dicey spot, and the recon dart is going to spot him undoubtedly. He's out of Shrouded Steps, has to use the paranoia, and won't get away regardless. Blockade, just one bullet left in the clip, but that was all he really needed. With Mesalito getting found in garage as well, this is an easy push to wherever Garmin feel like going. B is going to be the call, and Hella Energy would have to have a hella clutch to make this happen, and he ain't even looking the right way.
And now the rounds are going to swap, and Garmin Energy, a team that have been very aggressive. I think their playstyle, it's not going to swap, it's going to stay the same. This is a very aggressive team, and so I would not be surprised if we see Pure Penguins occupy that spot in garage where Rainers just love to burst aggressively out of as soon as round starts and try to pick up any kill, any early advantage for that defensive side.
Not a bad half for either team, certainly, though. I mean, Haven being one of the more even maps when we talk about, you know, Valorant and what maps favor attack or favor defense, right? I mean, all the maps statistically favor defense, just either just a little bit or very much so, like a, you know, split. But Haven is pretty much the most consistently even map in the game across most patches here. So you don't walk away from that as either team feeling too disappointed. Every round, every frag is going to matter. Garage control easily taken away here by the likes of Red Hat Uplink. They're just going to waltz onto the objective, but Triptoid going to put a bit of an issue in their step. Mystical Emo will shut it down, and not enough control there for the push that Red Hat were trying to go for.
Garmin Energy as well didn't spread their forces too thin. Even before Red Hat Uplink had actually properly pushed on a point, Garmin Energy made sure that they were playing very close together. So yes, you're going to be giving up a point, but your team can very quickly come together and go for that recontest. Now that Red Hat Uplink have been able to win that first round of pistols, they can come in with a slightly nicer, more comfortable buy than Garmin Energy, than Red Hat Uplink rather, who will just be coming out with those classics, trying to save themselves for that next round where teams really like to lean heavily into economy that can be the deciding factor, not just for the round you're currently in, but for how the entire rest of the series plays.
And unlike we've seen some teams do recently, Moxie, Red Hat, they're not going to go for that second round force. They attacked, they lost pistol, but they're not going to push their luck because they didn't get that spike down. They don't have that extra money to work with. Judge, very easily going to be spotted in garage there, but doesn't seem like they're going to go for the push into it. And honestly, if I was Red Hat, I wouldn't go anywhere near garage now that I know that there is a Judge hanging somewhere around it. That being said, they hang out in grass a little bit too long. And Triptoid is able to push this up one by one. Starting to lose members. Frave, oh, he's pushing forward a little aggressively, and Caminator's too low to get the trade there. Just one tap to the body. Triptoid puts him down. Tunicado all alone. Recon Dart going to tell everyone what side of the map he is hanging around on. He's going to be stuck in C-Long. Cubby is 2 players on site, 2 players behind him, and 0 chance for Tunicado.
It's the mind games. Even when they're on the defense, Horizon playing that Omen, he's got utility called Paranoia for a reason, Paul. Red Hat Uplink just did not want to push for garage as soon as that Omen reveals himself, purposefully shooting the Judge knowing that he's probably not going to hit something, that he's got enough utility, enough cover with those smokes to get himself safely back behind those garage doors. And when the Judge is behind the garage door, you're not going to push. And that gives all the time that Triptoid needs to come through from B onto Courtyard and push aggressively on the hesitant attackers. Now, though, it is that third round after side swap. So Red Hat Uplink will be coming in with Phantoms, trying to take control of A long as quickly as they possibly can. Light carrier is killed, but the attackers still have the majority of numbers, and they're going to move extremely quickly.
Yeah, good trade ultimately. And Frey picking up Pure Penguins. That's just going to keep the momentum Red Hat favored here. 4v2 for this retake. Just to judge for Horizon X, he would have to have some pretty crafty Shrouded Steps to make a judge work on this time. Blockade has bought up into a Vandal, so he's invested some of his economy into this round. Caminator, just with the early smoke directly above himself, making Horizon's life a little bit more difficult. Smoke actually a little bit low, so it actually seeps back down into hell. Horizon X, if he can find a way to make himself smoked off, he can actually go for something here. Does smoke onto the site, just gonna jump down straight into Caminator's waiting arms, though. Just a judge drop, not the worst thing in the world for the defensive team. They're gonna save their Vandal, and that's what really matters. As we are now looking at 6-9, still in favor of Garmin.
Rank's still pretty close, and economy still pretty even between these two teams. Both of them running a couple of players who are below a 1,000 mark, both of them running a couple of players who are above that 3,000 mark. So it's definitely going to be very interesting in terms of how this economy plays out between the two, because they've got a very good grip of it. We do very often see those teams that force that buy on that second round and immediately put themselves on the back foot for the entire rest of the series. But both Red Hat and Garmin have such a good read on this. It all comes down to mechanicals, utility, and of course those mind games.
Oh, just a heavy burst into Garage. 4 players taking control of that, but Blockade will make them lose at least one. Both Sovers getting active right now. Great swing there from Horizon X, but he does push his luck a little bit, going a little bit too far forward, just running and gunning. Seaside is going to be given over to the attacking team. Run it back. Going to take out Tunicado. Triptoid pretty happy with that one. Pure Penguins just creeping onto the site now. Not much to stop him. And all alone, hella energy. Not getting much done. Both flashing agents going to keep themselves alive. And that is so necessary, as every dollar, every dime is going to count for Garmin right here.
The teamwork as well. Pure Penguins reveals themselves when the Phoenix pops his ultimate so that he's able to safely transition into Garage, onto point, get a pick, and then get out. And then you've got that numbers advantage, you feel much more comfortable, you don't have to worry about the possibility of someone lurking on the sidelines roundabouts too long. You can push aggressively in and go for that retake with a lot of utility that you are able to keep a hold of too. Red Hat Uplink though, they will have that Hunter's Fury. And so I'm very interested to see how they're going to do it. Are they going to try and clear up that space immediately and brute force their way onto the point so often that we see attacking Sovers try? Or are they going to hold it for the recontest, knowing that if Garmin Energy get that space back, especially with the Killjoy, it's going to be extremely difficult to hold it down?
Or will they just go for the classic Sova owl drone into somewhere and then try to get a frag with the Hunter's Fury for that opening pick? We've seen that more than a few times this match already from both of these Sovas, so certainly not out of the realm of possibility. Pretty heavy lean towards the middle of the map for both teams right now. This can get a little dicey for the attackers if they decide to get too close to B, too dry. Already you can see that Sova on the minimap. Yeah, Tunicado, he was not going to have a fun time there. And Caminator just getting tagged nasty through that wall, only down to 23 HP. There is that one pick towards A. The attacking team is hoping that's pulled defenders over toward that side of the map, especially now that Frave is clearing things out. They're not going to go towards C, though. Red Hat, they really want to just commit on to B right now. And now that they're finally looking towards C with a spike going that direction, they're split across the map. Caminator all alone with that teleport. He was so low, and he's going to get taken out now. But they have no idea where Frave is. Hella energy if he can stay alive. No! Oh, that could have been such a winnable round. Now it's up to Frave to clutch. And I think his position is known. Pure Penguins has a feeling. And he'll ride that wave to a 4K in the round.
Oof. Those Empress Rainas, they are so very dangerous, aren't they? Upped firing speed, upped reload speed, and, you know, the entire ability to go invisible so that you have absolutely no idea what you're fighting. It might as well be smoke. We're going to see the attackers, a couple of bulldogs come out. That is well, not quite the sign of desperation, but it's definitely starting to reach towards it in terms of that economy and in terms of this scoreboard. Garmin Energy are
Exactly.
2 points away, and Red Hat Uplink will not be full buying this round. They know that they can't afford a budget push when it's match point, but they've still got to win this round now.
They're committing everything to do this already from the shadows. Oh, beautiful flash, though. Actually, wait, was that an anti-flash? Was that his own teammate who actually tagged him there? Oh, that is very unfortunate. And Hunter's Fury gonna get shut down. Great flank from Tripjoid, ripping to shreds the back line of the defenders. Masolito, he's trying to go forward, but he'll get caught by a flash. Easy, quick, dominant round for the defense, who now sit at match point.
Match point.
Oh, this is a tough one if you are Red Hat Uplink, Paul. Because you can't afford to drop a single of these points, and you're going to be working up against a Killjoy who has lockdown enabled. So Garmin Energy can feel more than comfortable enough to just completely abandon one of these points, as we see teams tend to do, so they can catch more of the enemy with that one and play for the retake instead. And you're already looking a little sparse. See, only being guarded by the Sova, no matter which point Red Hat Uplink try and push. That recontest is going to be such a pain.
Brave at least starting it off right. Garmin pushing their luck just a little bit here. And they're going to lose Garage for it. Triptoid immediately relocating, though. He's not content just sitting and waiting on C for the push. Instead, he's going to push them even further with this run it back. They have to know at least where this is coming from. Red Hat just trying to dance around it, keep it away from themselves, and not a great tag there onto Cam Mayer. Still has 64 health to his name. Masolito has to be careful contesting out of window, but does make it work onto Mystical Emo. A player advantage. Not really found, though. Okay, there it is. Tripjoid going down. The map position is still rough, though. Oh, good timing on the turn there from Hella Energy, but not quite the firepower you needed to make that one happen.
Masolito's not able to get the trade either, so it is still a 2 versus 2. Like that, a
Nice.
1 versus 2 blockade with only 5 HP is just not going to last long, but Masolito's not much better on 20.
And
Spike is down.
quintessentially, that one ain't anyone. That is pure Penguins. That is the top fragger in the match right now.
Oh, the Rap 2 Pure Penguins is going to be able to get that spike. And Red Hat Uplink have searched out the Reyna. They thought she would go for a save. They will hear the sound of the defuse coming through.
Defuse hasn't started yet. There's the tap. Just to try and draw defenders back. Pure Penguins should know, and they line up perfectly! Pure Penguins with the collateral. Spray just for style points. Defuse on the board. And 5-2 now. Sit Garmin.
Red Hat Uplink. Oh, they're going to be kicking themselves for that one, Paul. If they just stayed to guard that spike, if they hadn't gone searching for that Reyna, then they wouldn't have put themselves on the exact same angle when the fight begins. Because that's what happens. We see the spray coming out from the Vandal, and Pure Penguins just gets to hold down and fire right into Lincoln. Unfortunately, Red Hat Uplink, they're just right in that same spot. They get taken out so quickly, one after the other. Neither of them can go for the trade.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, it was pretty rough stuff in that situation regardless, even if they hadn't just lined up for that collateral. Only 20 health to one, only 64 on the other, right? It would have taken, what, 3 bullets from the Reyna there to put them down?
It would have taken even more to take it down as well, because if the fight goes on longer and you don't line yourselves up, then she gets to set that Devour up, and she has to self-heal, or she can become intangible. Reyna is just such a hard one to go up against in that scenario, and you could say that they really wanted to try and find her when she was unaware and in a tough spot, but the tables get very quickly turned on them.
Yeah, and I mean, we got to shout out Pure Penguins, right? Because, I mean, not just in that round, but throughout the entirety of Haven, this guy is just fragging all over the board. Just a nut on this map. We don't I can only imagine what his average combat score looked like, right? The dude was just insane on the Reyna, and that's what you want from someone if they're going to be playing that Reyna.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't actually get to see a single operator or even Marshall come out from either side, and that really goes to show the playstyle that both of these guys really leaned into If you want to go for that very slow, decisive style of play where you just try and stop an enemy from coming into one specific area with one specific sight line, then that's what teams will go for, especially on Haven, especially on places like Ascent. But neither of those guys went for it. Both of them really like to take things extremely quickly, try and grab map control through blood rather than threat. And we got to see some really nice matches, some really nice fights breaking out between both of them, where I think both of these guys had some really amazing pop-up moments. We saw some amazing ultimates, rolling fun that you don't typically tend to see it pick up that much. But if teams are able to lean in and capitalize on the moment, on the fact that so many players have the tendency to be stunned out for a very long time, can absolutely make that one very, very punishing.
Well, Garmin punishing Red Hat Uplink certainly in this match here. Garmin, they're going to go up to 5-2. They're going to sit themselves very nicely to make it into the playoffs, and they're going to take this match pretty handily, 13-6. Don't go anywhere, guys. When we come back from a quick break, we're going to be back with an interview from one of the Winding members, so make sure you stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Garmin Valorant just took a pretty solid win, 13-6, over the likes of Red Hat Uplink. And as such, we are back with a member of the winning team. It's going to be the top fragger, the Arctic Emperor, the happy feet with the happy frags, Pure Penguin himself. How are you feeling after that win, man?
Well, I always feel good after a good win, and uh, happy to be here. Hello, everybody on the stream.
Okay, so I've got to ask first of all, that last round when it was you versus two, what was going through your head?
Well, okay, so both my teammates called out that one of them was one bullet to the chest and the other one was two bullet to the chest. So the I wanted to just try to find an early pick right after the bomb tap. So I thought one of them would be hiding behind the box, and so I was spamming that. I cleared out the behind it, and so there was only one spot that he could be standing. So I tapped it a couple of times, which baited them both to come swing. And so then when I just went back to the bomb, they were both there. I saw the guy in the back first, and so um, then as soon as I saw the guy in the front's arm, I knew they were both dead.
Nice. Well, it was certainly a fun way and a dominant way to end out that series. But honestly, you were just popping off left and right, up and down the entire map long on the Reyna. Talk to us a little bit about that pick because you certainly made it look pretty dang good.
Well, I've always said that I think Reyna's a little bit of a broken character because she has the heals and the invulnerables. But it's really helpful because my team's really solid and they work together pretty well. And so they generally have like a section of the map that they are just controlling. And so then that allows me to like extend beyond that and then maybe pick up a kill or get into a spot where I shouldn't be. And then if I get the kill, I can just go invulnerable and get back to where I need to be, or maybe get into a better spot. So that's
So we
helpful.
we saw you being very aggressive, Reina, but before we actually came on air, you said to us that you don't actually like playing Reina as much as another agent. Do
Yes,
you
I do.
find that your do you find that your play style is influenced by Omen, or does that change up entirely depending on which agent
No,
you play?
I think I'm just as aggressive as Omen as I am Marina. I I like teleporting up close and stuff. Yeah, it's I come from Counter Strike, so I'm just
Mhm.
used to getting up in their face and shooting them in the head, and so that's what I like to do in this game too.
Okay, well, that would at least explain where the raw mechanical power comes from that we saw you display today. But let's talk a little bit more macro now, Penguins, because now you guys move up to 5-2, 2-0 since getting into the second part of our regular season here. Just one match to play. You guys are poised pretty well for playoffs. Are there any other teams you're keeping your eye on, either in the qualification matches or towards the playoffs, maybe somebody you lost to earlier, you want to get revenge on as we move forward with the fall 2020 corporate esport Valorant?
Well, so for both of our, we have the two losses, right? But for
Hmm.
both of those losses, I wasn't there for one of them, and then Triptoid wasn't there for the other one, and
Okay.
so we were feeling when we have the full squad together, we feel pretty confident that we can go toe to toe with any team out there right now. So I'm just happy to be and going into playoffs.
Nice.
Strong words indeed. Well, thank you so much for coming in to interview. But before we send you off, is there anyone on your team or in your personal life that you would like to use this platform to say hello to or thanks or anything you want to say?
Well, huge shout out to my team because, like I said, I think we got a really solid squad and we really just play together well. We play off each other well. We all like each other, and that's very plus. And then a massive shout out to everybody watching for me. Like I have a lot of family that likes to tune into my games, and they just they it makes me feel really good that they come and watch and support me. So massive shout out to everybody that's done that over the years.
Gotta love the wholesome vibes to end this off. Thank you so much for joining us, Penguins, once again, and good luck in the rest of your regular season, probably on to playoffs based on how Garmin were playing today. Moxie, only 1 week left before we find out who progresses and who is eliminated here. How you feeling going into the last week?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see these teams when we move into that playoffs. But Paul, there's something else that I can't wait for. 3 weeks! It's only 3 weeks till that second week of playoffs where we're going to see Icebox and potentially Sky come in and cause absolute ripples. Because from my own games on Icebox, it seems to be the one map in Valorant that is extremely attackers favored. So I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing how teams adapt and how it turns into that point, that power balance that we get to see teams who manage to accrue so many rounds on their attack, then coming in and dominating a couple of defensive rounds, immediately snatching victories.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be very spicy here. Big waves, not only through all of Valorant, but especially here at the Corporate Esports Valorant Fall 2020. Make sure if you guys are just tuning in, you don't have a team that's playing in Corporate Esports Valorant. There's so many different games that this organization puts on tournaments for, so you can get your company involved. Make sure you head over to Twitter, head over to Discord, get all the information you can and sign your company up for some fun. It's great team building exercise there, and you can definitely get a lot out of it. I think that'll be it for this week. Thank you, as always, Mox, for joining me. You've been spectacular as expected. Thank you to our producer, Rhino, as he is always killing it too. And thank you to all of you for watching. We'll see you bright and early next Saturday for the last week of the regular season. But until then, have a safe week.